Enchanting Stars, written by theSakramentRose. The sun over Equestria shone bright as the breeze whipped manes and tails around, and the birds' chirping was heard all around the small, quiet town of Ponyville. The scents of honeysuckle and roses wafted along the street as one blue Pegasus glided over the town, her rainbow mane blowing and waving as she thought to herself, her smile wide. Maybe Twilight won't be too mad about me being late. She was on her way to Twilight for their stargazing night. Rainbow had grown particularly fond of stars and such as she lived among the clouds, but there was a much deeper meaning to why she was going. She had been harboring a crush for Lavender Alicorn for some time and couldn't think of any way of telling her, so this was as close as she could get for now. She didn't mind. Simply being with Twilight made her feel better, and she had grown quite fond of a certain constellation. Finally, she arrived at her destination. Stroking her mane down and taking a deep breath, she pushed open the door to the castle and walked through the halls and corridors, straight to Twilight's room, her hooves clacking on the hard floor. She reached Twilight's room and noticed a note on the table. Dear Rainbow, I have gone out to the fields by Sweet Apple Acres for a better view, as the lights from Ponyville cause a slight amount of light pollution and the stars are more visible in the country. Twilight. Rainbow Dash grinned at the ridiculous practicality of her friend, exiting the castle and spreading her wings again in the rush of air as she pushed off the ground, gliding and soaring through the sky as her smile widened, the town of Ponyville slipping by under her in blurs of color and sound. Her wings barely needing to flap as she flew faster, barely missing a tree by a few inches. Off in the distance, she saw Sweet Apple Acres and the large, red barn of her friend Applejack, and she scanned the surrounding fields before resting her eyes on her bookish friend, smiling and descending slowly. As she landed, she saw Twilight beckon to her, and she trotted over. Rainbow, I'm glad you could still make it. I know you tend to be busy sometimes, so a few more minutes and the stars should be visible. Care for a cider or a sandwich? Rainbow happily accepted, looking around the grassy field, and the smell of water and dirt filled her nose, her throat dry from the cool air as she took a sip and stared at the lavender mare intently, causing Twilight to blush and look away. There we are. That constellation over there is Orion. She pointed to her left, and Rainbow followed her gaze, smiling as she found the location. You're such an egghead! I am not! I am attempting to educate you on constellations and Hey, what's so funny? Rainbow had started to chuckle as Twilight went off on her defense, and she rustled Twilight's mane with her wing. I rest my case, total egghead, and a generous one at that. Rainbow, is there something you're not telling me? Not at all. Why? Twilight stared her down with a questioning eye, finally gazing back up into the starry sky, not noticing Dash's sweat or her sigh of relief. The thoughts running through her head severely distracted from the stars, and Dash furiously fought with herself to control them. Kiss her! But if you do, she may not like you. Tell her how you feel, but she may be creeped out, or even just fly away and make up a lame excuse. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She sat up. I'm sorry, Twi. I need to go for a minute. Be right back. Twilight raised a hoof in protest, but set it back down, nodding, and Dash took off to clear her head, finding a spot under a tree, just outside the orchard. Fuck! Will I do it? Or will I not? I really want... What do I want? Do I want Twilight? Her looks? Or just some pony to love? I really need to sort this out soon. Wait, I can still be honest without sounding creepy if I just use the right words. So, I guess that could work. Once again, she took off back to Twilight. There you are! I was getting a bit worried. You were acting rather strange there for a while. Something wrong? Twilight, you have no idea. I feel like a dork for saying it, but my feelings are all jumbled and mixed around. And I'm scared to tell you about them. Scared? Rainbow, tell me, what's wrong? Fine. He'll just eat me up anyway. Twilight, you have told me so much when I needed it. Especially when you taught me about the history of the Wonderbolts to let me live my dreams. You're beautiful, smart, and undeniably, unquestionably epic. Twilight had been standing there, stunned and blushing as Rainbow had spoken. She looked to the ground and quickly Rainbow Dash looked down as well, assuming she had messed everything up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. I messed it up. As she had tried to make her excuse, Twilight had looked back up and quickly leaned forward, planting her lips on Dash's in a moment. After the initial surprise, Rainbow gave in, closing her eyes and flapping her wings slowly, resulting in both a giggle and a copy of the action from Twilight. Rainbow decided now or never, and using both hooves raised Twilight up with her on their wings, slowly twirling around each other in the air, finally breaking the kiss to look in her eyes. Twilight, can you get any cuter? I don't know. I'm not the cute one. She smirked and kissed Dash again, and they swirled higher and higher, dancing among the stars as the light of the moon bathed them in silver. The cool winds making their manes swirl, and waves of colors in their wings appeared as great birds, their necks craned together to make a heart.